Grace and peace, everybody. Grace and peace. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, you know what we're about to do. So let's get at it. Tiffany Henyard, if you're not familiar with her, she is the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, and she's the village supervisor of the village of Thornton in Illinois as well. So she has two roles. She goes by the moniker the super mayor. And dare we just go ahead and just say it? She's probably she's notorious now as the America's worst mayor, hands down. And if you're not familiar, Dolton, Illinois is a suburb south of Chicago, and it's just getting a lot of shine as of late. It's getting a lot of attention as of late, and for all the wrong reasons, because Tiffany is just doing the most. If you ever want to see, like, what is the example of doing the most, it's Tiffany Henyard. I mean, from the way she spends to the way she deals with pushback, the way she deals with the residents, the way she deals with outsiders, the way she deals with insiders. Everything she does just seems to come across as wrong. Well, she's gone so far as to lock out the village of Dolton's trustees from the finances. So she'll spend money, but the village trustees don't know all the ins and outs of how the money's being spent. There's a lot of problems in here because I'm just like, well, wait, how does that work? So there's a lot of problems there. Apparently, she's not releasing the financials. The trustees have had to sue in order to get the financials. She said, I've sent them to you. I emailed them to you. It's a lot of back and forth, a lot of he said, she said, and there's a lot of shenanigans there. Well, enter in Lori Lightfoot. So the village trustees have tried everything under the sun, and they seem to have gotten a lot of support from everybody outside of Dolton, and even people inside Dolton too. But people out around the world know about this story, okay? That's how big it is. And a lot of the people want to support, and a lot of people are supporting the trustees in their effort to right this ship and get Dolton moving into a way of being prosperous again. Well, they did something recently this week that really had a lot of people scratching their heads. And so let's put a pin in that, and let's jump up north of Dolton is a big city by the lake known as the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. You probably remember before they hired the most recent mayor, they had a mayor in position, and she got a lot of pushback. She caused a lot of consternation. She caused a lot of issues. No, I'm not talking about Tiffany Henyard. I'm talking about Lori Lightfoot. I don't even know how to frame this statement. The village trustees of Dolton, Illinois, have chosen to hire Lori Lightfoot. This is the one, the black woman that made all these racial claims from her bully pulpit during COVID and during the Summer of Love that allowed Chicago to slide into a much deeper, much more despicable position as a international city. It is now, it is the murder capital of the United States in some regards. This is the Lori Lightfoot. She only served one term, which is almost unheard of in Chicago for a Democrat to only serve one term as mayor. Well, she was able to successfully do it. There was another mayor, I think like in 1996, that was also a one-term mayor. But most of them have comfortably sat for multiple terms. However, Lori got ousted. So now the village trustees have decided that they want to hire Lori Lightfoot to investigate Tiffany Henyard. It is the craziest story. I can't figure it out either. Now, I've been watching quite a few people discuss this topic, and there's a lot of jokes about this, lots of jokes about this from you gotta have a criminal to help catch a criminal. And I didn't realize she was an actual attorney, and apparently she was actually a pretty good attorney. And both sides of the aisle agreed, from what I understood, that Lori Lightfoot was actually a pretty decent attorney. So, maybe she could investigate this, and she's done investigations of this scale. Like, okay, well, all right, got you. I'm picking up what you're throwing down. So what I wanted to do here, this is just going to be a quick live stream because I saw it today and I was like, I got to talk about it. So shout out to Hannibal is Hungry, as well as the trustees of Dolton's YouTube channels. Respectfully, I put their links down in the description. And they had such an interesting conversation. So we're going to pull up a video. We're going to just kind of go through it together. There's two videos are spliced together to get the most salient points. I would encourage you, if you're interested in the questions that were asked of Lori Lightfoot after she gives her kind of like her little speech, and we'll watch the speech in a second. I would encourage you to check out the Village, the Trustees of Village. All right, let's start that over again. Take two. I would encourage you to watch the Trustees of Dolton Village YouTube channel. It is really informative. And there were some really smart questions. I'll probably even bring up some of them during this. And then also, I want you to see how Tiffany Henyard is under siege. I think that's the best way to describe it. They had a city hall meeting, town hall meeting yesterday, and it was a total and complete dumpster fire. I pulled out a couple points from there, but again, the clips, the whole video is down in the description. Shout out to Hamilton is Hungry as he reported on it. I just want y'all to see this, and I want to hear what you think. How do you all feel about, especially if you know about Lori Lightfoot, if you're familiar with that whole situation that went on in Chicago during the Summer of Love, how do you feel about her being responsible to check, investigate, pull the coattail of Tiffany Henyard, who really just seemed like a younger Lori Lightfoot? I don't know how to do that. So let's pull the video in. Let's just talk about it.
Can we get security up here? This man just hit her, please.
Shout out to, I forgot the name of this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel, it is Hamilton is Hungry, but he's also reporting on somebody else's work as well. The gentleman that's actually recording it, and I forgot to put his video in here, his link in here. I'm sorry about that. It is a very interesting video again, and his channel is called I gotta find it. I'll find it in a second. But the Dolton Trustees, where is it? It's a really good, but this gentleman is a independent reporter. He literally came to Dolton, relocated for a few days to Dolton to record their town hall meetings and such like that, and kind of get some boots on the ground type of effect. Really cool that he did that. But let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go.
What? The department head?
But what I will say is people that sit on this board, and I'm speaking of trustees on that just spoke, and said nothing or did nothing when Frank Corelli was the supervisor.
So this is something, and let's stop right here. So this is Tiffany Henyard, and it's being broadcast on the big projector screen. You see it right there. I think it's appropriate that she has a gold microphone. That is so really cool. That's so weird that she has literally a golden microphone. Her name is not Prince. I don't understand this. But she has now started, she initially was saying that you're attacking a black woman. She was using that trope for a while. But the previous mayor died suddenly, if I'm understanding correctly. The previous mayor died suddenly. No warning or anything of that nature. So out of desperation, they chose Tiffany Henyard, and they were looking to check some boxes. They were looking for a black woman, blah, 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 check those boxes. So they selected Tiffany Henyard, and they're regretting it now. But she has now started this trope of saying that the previous administration, that they were stealing money. It is so wild, just out of the blue, she has started this narrative, and maybe they were, maybe they weren't, as if that changes anything that she's doing, as if that makes right anything that she's doing. She's making up this story that the previous administration was stealing money and nobody was calling them out on the carpet about it. So that's what she's talking about. Let me back up just a little smidgen. Let's try to do it right this time. There we go.
Nothing or did nothing when Frank Corelli was the supervisor.
People were not happy. They were not happy.
Damn.
Yes, you saw the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, get booed. This was the wildest meeting I have ever seen.
All right. So again, check out Hamilton is Hungry. He did a fantastic job on this. I just want to pull out a couple of snippets.
On the virtual agenda are two.
And what we're going to have here, and now we're jumping to the trustee meeting. For whatever reason, they don't have the meetings simultaneously, or they don't have the meetings together anymore. I heard that Tiffany just doesn't come to any of them. It's craziness, man. It is total anarchy. But here is the city attorney introducing why they're going to be pulling in, or why they're asking to tap in Lori Lightfoot. Let's let them go.
Solutions, hiring Ms. Lightfoot as additional legislative counsel. I received a letter today from the Delgado Law Group threatening me and this board that if we proceeded along this route, there would be litigation and grave consequences. And advising that any actions we do here are in violation of the Open Meetings Act and against the law. I remind you, this is the same Delgado Law Group who just received the invoices from the last 2.5 years, including March, will be over $950,000. So rather than fight another lawsuit and spend more money on more lawyers, we amended the motion tonight. The resolutions were to appoint Ms. Lightfoot, and that's what the motion is.
So real quick, one of the things that this is not cheap for Tiffany Henyard not to give over financial documents, for the trustees to have to sue, for Tiffany to have to reply back to it. That's more money that's being wasted by the district and by the village. And if the math is right, they're like $7 million in debt, and there's only 22,000 people living in the city. So there's only 22,000 people that are taxable as it relates to like property taxes and bringing in income from. So it's not a lot of people. And you're talking about $7 million in debt, and probably increasing, because he just said right there that the law firm that just sent them a threatening letter just sent their bill, and it's like $950,000. That's crazy.
Rather than appoint her as legislative counsel, which is our title, directly as a special investigator is more than appropriate. Again, we're looking to get down to the facts as to what's going on in the village and how the money's been spent or not spent. So rather than fight over this in court, we amended the motion. People are here tonight because they know on the agenda is the proposed hiring of...
And also, they're going to pan the room. I think I got this still in here. They go back and pan the room. This room is jam-packed. So this is not a small thing. Just like you saw in the opening video clip right there, there's a lot of people. There is a lot of people that are concerned about this topic. So this is not just a nobody really cares, this is sliding under the radar type of deal. Let's go.
A very learned former federal prosecutor to help the trustees sort out what's going on in the village over the last 2 years as far as misappropriation and misspending. That's why we amended the motion, the agenda as it's stated, to try to avoid yet another lawsuit.
One thing I'm learning is attorneys don't do things for free.
Thank you, Bert, and thank you, Board. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce Lori E. Lightfoot, who most of you, I'm sure, are familiar with, who she is. But what you might not be familiar with is her background professionally, so I'd like to just breeze through it, and then Ms. Lightfoot's going to step up and make a brief comment. Ms. Lightfoot graduated from the University of Michigan in 1984 with a bachelor's degree in political science. She's also a graduate from the University of Chicago in 1989 with a Juris Doctorate degree, which is necessary to get your law degree. She then worked as an assistant U.S. attorney in the criminal division for the Northern District of Illinois from 1996 to 2002, where she prosecuted a whole slew of different types of criminal cases, but notably she prosecuted cases that involved public corruption. She then was appointed the chief administrator for the Chicago Police Department Office of Professional Standards in that capacity from 2002 to 2004. She was Chief of Staff and General Counsel for the Chicago Office of Emergency Management and Communications from July 2004 to February 2005. She was acting First Deputy Procurement Officer for the City of Chicago Department of Procurement Services, February 2005 through October 2005. She's a past president of Chicago Police Board from 2015 to 2018. She was co-chair Chicago Police Accountability Task Force in 2016, and as we all know, she was the mayor for the City of Chicago for a 4-year term. With that background, I would like to introduce Lori E. Lightfoot.
Okay, so before she jumps in, Lori is going to give just a little, this is not like a Q&A per se. She really wasn't supposed to be doing like open questions and such. They did get up and start asking her questions after the fact, and I did cut those out. However, I just want you to hear what she says. I'm kind of conflicted because I see some comments, you know, Fox guarding the hen house. She failed in Chicago, this, that, and the other. Am I taking a dose of copium? I don't know, because I don't know. I want you to hear this and just let me know, am I insane? Okay, let's go. I mean, listen to the audience. I mean, she's getting love from these people. And I don't know if in this video I have a pan of it, but there's a lot of people in this place. It's not 10 people. There's a lot of folk in here. And they seem pretty riled up about Lori.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for that incredibly warm and welcome reception. Let me first acknowledge and thank the many residents of this fine village who have extended themselves and given me strong words of encouragement. I can tell from this turnout, there's got to be close to 200 people here, that people in this village want something different, want to go in a different direction. And I want to assure you that it's for you that I am here. And I will do my utmost, if this motion is passed, to make sure that I serve you with integrity. I also want to acknowledge and thank the trustees who are here. And thank you for your confidence in me to conduct a thorough and timely and independent investigation into the matters outlined in the motion regarding Mayor Tiffany Henyard and her administration. As someone who's made good governance the cornerstone of my public service career, I recognize maintaining the trust of those you serve and making decisions in their best interest is absolutely essential. The residents of Dolton deserve nothing less than a government that is fully accountable, responsive, transparent, and effective stewards of your precious tax dollars. As a lawyer and former federal prosecutor and mayor, I bring expertise in leading investigations of this kind and understand the complex challenges of governing. I will commit to you that I will follow the facts where they lead, without bias, and reserve comments from this night forward until the work is complete. At the conclusion of this investigation, I will provide an assessment of the findings and the recommendations, and I welcome and urge the full cooperation by Mayor Henyard, her staff, all village trustees, vendors, and others who have information relevant to this inquiry. Thank you very much.
All right, listen to the people.
And then I'll go back to the side. I'll go back to sit down with you. Thank you.
Okay. Am I dealing with copium? Okay, I see the comments. And this is the one that really stood out to me. From my understanding, she actually was a decent attorney before she became mayor. I can't say, I'm not speaking on her mayorhood, but rather just her being an attorney and prosecutor, and I think a federal prosecutor. I think she was doing a good job. So is it possible, and hear me, and I want to hear what y'all say. So I'm commenting, I'm referring to you all in the chat. So please answer this question. Is it possible she was just a really bad mayor, but she could do this job of investigating Tiffany Henyard successfully? Is that just copium? Like, am I just going crazy? What do y'all think? All right. Can't be trusted to investigate this. Wow. Okay. Didn't she lose the trust of the people she served? I mean, yeah, I guess you're right, man. I don't know. I'm just kind of figure out, like, I heard what she said. And now somebody did also say that, here it is right here. How can they afford her? She's charging a premium, that's for sure. And then of course, Kenya has just been waylaying on, where is it? Where's these comments? There we go, right here. And Kenya just said, Black people refuse to accept that the problem is voting Black and bad liberal policies. They have not made that connection. And she continues, Black citizens in Illinois, Black citizens in Illinois think the problem is white Republicans, even though Lightfoot was a failure. Sigh. I got you. Okay, let's keep going. I feel like the residents of the trustees of Dolton refused to hire a white attorney investigator because of optics instead of hiring the best attorney for the job. Now, I will say Dolton is a very, very one-sided ethnic group area. It's south of Chicago. So people just come out of Chicago right into Dolton. So it is very highly Black. So that being the case, I kind of can see why. But let me see. I really want to know, am I wrong? am I just dealing with copium? All right, Costa Comedian says, those poor people keep tripping over their own feet. Just amazing. They want Lightfoot investigating another tyrannical mayor. I mean, I totally get it. I don't understand how Tiffany Henyard is able to get away with not doing her job of giving certain financials and such like that. That right there just seems completely crazy to me, but I digress. I think they're clapping because they don't really know her reputation. No, they're in Chicago. Let me see real quick. I had the map up. Dolton is like 40 minutes from Chicago. Not even 40 minutes. No, it's super close. No, it is close. So they know about Lori. Bruh, it might be 40 minutes, 40 miles. So we're talking 10 minutes from there. Let me just pull it up real quick. Chicago proper. All right, let's see how far from Dolton. We're talking a whole 28 minutes. Approximately 21 miles from what would be considered, oh, wait, hold on, let me double check. From Dolton to, yeah, they know about Lori. If we know about Lori down here in Atlanta, then they know about Lori up there. It is exactly 21 miles, roughly 25 minutes from the center of downtown Chicago to the center of Dolton. So yeah, they know about Lori. They know about her. But it was Brandon said. I think they're clapping because, okay, maybe they recognize her name and feel like they have someone of great stature coming to save them. Now that is interesting because I actually have a video clip. Somebody did a montage of something called Saving Dolton, and it was really a sad video. It's called Who's Gonna Save Dolton? And I've got to see if I don't know where I put it. And maybe I'll do that when we come back. But it's very interesting because basically I was going to juxtapose it that you see a lot of women running the ship in Dolton, from the mayor to all these other people. Many of the trustees are females and such of that nature. There's men there, but not many. And there are not many men that are active, and definitely not many men that are on a positive, trying to do the right thing type of trajectory. So you see a lot of women in there. And it was really interesting because the woman, the montage was called "Who's Going to Save Dolton?" And it was all women. So I think you might be on to something. I just want to, I have to find that, and then I'll be ready to bring it back. Bad policies, person says, are from her worldview, but that doesn't mean she can't be good at finding corruption. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, can she find the corruption, call out the corruption, weed it out? Hey, Caustic Chameleon, don't call us out down here. Don't call us out down here. I agree. So I don't know. And that's the thing, like, and I'm sure most of us who are on the outside looking in, we're like, cut your losses or do this and the other. But again, it's a whole city. It's not just a business that you can bankrupt and rebrand or something like that. It's a whole city. I mean, you got fire departments and police departments and all these services and such like that. Like, what do they do? I don't know. I really don't know. Hey, stop talking about Atlanta. It must be stopped. All right. If I remember right, I think the mayor's position was just something over her head. I think you're talking about Lori's, or you're talking about Tiffany's, because I think Tiffany's in over her head as well. But I got your point. I'm just wondering, like, is it possible that Lori Lightfoot could be a good, now mind you, everybody and their cousin is going to be watching over her shoulder. So is it possible, maybe, just maybe, that she's going to be able to do this job well because so many people are going to be watching over her shoulder, versus when she was the mayor, nobody was watching over her shoulder like that. Just a thought. And so many, again, like, this is international at this point. I'm just wondering. All right, what we got? I think we're hours away and we know. Like, everybody knows about Lori. Everybody knows about Tiffany. Like, literally, she's been, the news in Chicago calls her the world's worst mayor. In Chicago, WGN News calls her the world's worst mayor. And that's right there, 20 miles from her office. It's crazy. So it's like the same miles from Lithonia to Atlanta. Perfect. There you go. If you know each other, then it could be a problem. And you know what? I cut it out of there. They actually talk about that. And somebody came up after she got done speaking. There's like 4 or 5 people come up and ask questions. One of them says, "I've seen pictures with you and Tiffany Henyard together. How do we know that you're not going to just, be buddy with her?" And she explains it, and she explains it pretty well. The picture's like 4 years old. All the mayors, it's not just a picture of them out playing golf together out at a club. It's literally all the mayors together. So it's not a picture of them together. It's them with everybody else. And she explains, like, I don't even know this person like this. All I know is what I'm tasked to do, and I'm supposed to find the information. I said, okay, I can kind of dig that. See, this is where I'm conflicted. Caustic Chameleon says Lightfoot may be able to find the corruption, but will she actually call it out and do something? This is the only other problem. Like, Lori Lightfoot has no this position. She's not going to be able to put somebody in jail. If she comes across somebody that's embezzling money, she wouldn't be able to, blow the whistle and the cops come and arrest them. She can't do that. So it's really just an informative, investigative, I guess, to capture data, which seems so horrible because we already know this community is not doing that well. And then for Tiffany to drag them into more legal, more financial malaise, it just seems cruel and unusual, in my opinion. These people really don't. I mean, this is not a bustling metropolis by any shape, form, or measure. And you're still just dragging them through here just because, not any other reason, but because you can drag them through this foolishness, because you won't give them the financial records. You won't do whatever. That's unfortunate. All right. So, but The people were excited about Lori, but boy, oh boy, we're going to go back to that opening interview or segment that we had, because at that opening, at the board meeting, the town hall meeting with Tiffany Henyard, there's a brother named Brother Jedediah Brown, and he gets up, and let me tell you right now, he gives Tiffany Henyard the absolute unequivocal business. It was a verbal shellacking of the highest order. I'm just telling you right now, you are going to laugh so hard, because he's looking this woman in the face and he is saying some of the most serious stuff, and all she can do is sit there and smile and nod her head and try not to jump across the table, because he is giving her the business. And it is amazing. And matter of fact, it's so amazing that I think that the 9 of you all that have already hit the like button are going to multiply into 3 times as much, so that the whole 27 that are watching this video will like it. But let's go. Like the video. Help your guy out. Help me out. I don't know where I got that green from. I thought it was something cool. And I said, it looks kind of nice. I like it. And here we go.
My name is Jedediah Brown, and I'm homeless, so I could be everywhere. So with that being said, to the young lady that was speaking, I want her to know that as a man that's advocating, I heard everything she said. And I'm asking for everybody to be as gentle and kind to the employees who have inherited this mess. We are not trying to attack the employees, but if you be disrespectful, we'll match it. And then with that being said, I would like to also make it very clear, we're not here for you. But because you work in this government, understand people's lives are affected by this government. And just like I care about the young lady who spoke, I care about the young lady who made sexual assault allegations and who confided in the leader. And the leader who had a constitutional duty to report that to the local Las Vegas police abdicated that duty so that she can sit there with nice hair and nice clothes and nice bottles of water. So if I'm going to protect one employee, I'm going to protect them all. But what I want to do here, because I don't live in this particular area of my homelessness, I want to say this to you, Tiffany. You had an opportunity as a black woman, as an elected official, to stand on the shoulders of so many of the most disrespected women in the history of this nation, to actually create something that would give generations behind you something that they can model after. However, this has been the Tiffany Henyard show. This place is completely, your face is everywhere. You also, I know you got those banners inside of the village that you didn't put up yet. You could go ahead and put them up. We know what you own. But this is the thing. The reason why people should never vote for anything with this administration without knowing the facts is because they got a whole history of trying to hide their corruption. Nobody in good government, not even, especially not a super mayor, especially not a black woman who understands the role that you have and understands that the history that you're creating, there's going to be another black woman that's going to run, and she's going to be looked at through the lens of what you do in your governing. So when everybody say, oh, this is a black woman, we got to think about all black women. Because I know a lot of black women that's going to school right now, they aspire to be exactly where you were blessed. You were an illegitimate mayor. You were recalled by the people. However, you overcame it. That was God giving you an opportunity to make something of it and prove them wrong. But exactly what's happening, this is not people that's just disgruntled. But the Bible says that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And then Dr. Martin Luther King said that unrest is the voice of those that have not been heard. So what you're dealing with is people trying to figure out, how does a man that's homeless come to try to bring awareness to what's going on, like a police officer. I have a video of one of your officers having sex in your jail cell. I'm trying to figure out, how does a woman who you know have compromised sensitive investigative material, how do you have a woman who is unethical in every sense of the word, had an irresponsible relationship with your former chief's child? did it on company time in a company vehicle and left the village when she should have been there protecting the citizens. She was trying to get her rocks off. This is what I'm trying to figure out. How does that woman become internal affairs for your police department, and then I get served with a restraining order today from that woman, and you allow her to be a police officer still in your department? With that being said, let me make it clear. If you're unethical on one side, we got to watch you on another. So the way you lead as a mayor is why we're handling you this way as a supervisor. And the best thing you can do with all the controversy is step aside and don't make these people have to go through another day, because I'm going to tell you something. Yes, you're beautiful, and yes, you have done you've done things that people have not done. But your presence is now a harm to these individuals. And then I'm gonna ask you this one simple question, because this is what I'm really here for, and I can say so much because I say you always give out receipts. I'm trying to figure out why not one time have you got on anything and spoke to that young woman who said that she was sexually assaulted. I have seen no empathy from you at not no time. You've not spoke about her. You said you're okay. You talked about what you're doing, but what about what she's been going through for the last year? And I understand, let's not talk about an investigation while it was pending, but it wasn't pending until it was exposed. And she had to do it herself because you betrayed her. So my question now to you is, now that the media have put out the name of the accused trustee, Andrew Holmes, who is the only trustee who has an office in your building, I'm asking you this question. Are you going to call for his resignation? Are you going to fight or get him removed from office? Are you going to cooperate with a fair and transparent, thorough investigation into these sexual assault allegations? Are you going to apologize to that girl while you want us to be nice to this girl? And I'll leave you with this. This isn't personal for me, but I will be releasing everything that I have, and y'all can send every bit of paperwork. You can weaponize your police department, and you can look at me all smug. But I'll tell you what I do know. Everybody has their day. And I'm not afraid. So Jedediah is here to stay.
Jedediah was not playing games with them at all. He said, I'm not playing no games with you. And so, yeah, man, like, it's clear that, in my opinion, the city, I think Jedediah, and I've watched several interviews with people that live in Dolton, Illinois. I don't feel like it's a lap too far to say that Jedediah is a good encapsulation of the voice of the people in Dolton, Illinois. However, is Lori Lightfoot the right solution? I think we all see the problem. Tiffany Henyard is the problem. I believe Jedediah explained it well. But I'm just wondering, is Lori Lightfoot the right one? Or maybe she's a perfect fit. Maybe she is the right one. Maybe you do need a lunatic or a crook to weed out a crook. Maybe you need that. Maybe you need, what is it called? A maniac to track down a maniac. Maybe that's what you need. I don't know. So I just wondered. I wanted y'all to see that. I wanted to hear your feedback on it because I just thought it was such a wild story. And I got this feeling now that Lori Lightfoot is being instituted into this Dolton story. The Dolton story is going to take on new life. Because, I mean, it already had life, all right, with Tiffany Henyard. However, now that you add Lori Lightfoot to it, and especially if there's some back and forth, if there's some pushback, if there's some, good gracious, an open mic diatribe, because Lori Lightfoot's good for getting on the mic, going off on people. So imagine that, like her coming to a board meeting and going off on Tiffany, or, giving a report and Tiffany comes in and they get at it. I mean, this story can become completely nuclear. I guess nuclear is a good term. It's going to become wild. That's all I can say. But what else I got? It looks like we're all kind of back and forth, if you will, on this topic. We definitely don't know where Lori will land. It sounds like they did, in fact, approve Lori Lightfoot, and she's getting paid a lot of money to do this. So, I don't know where that money's coming from. That's a whole nother discussion. But if she does come in there, can she do that job well? Even though she wasn't a good mayor, even though she failed at being a mayor, can she still do this job well? I don't know. I think she can, but that's just my little 2 cents. It, yeah, I don't, it does sound crazy. Again, like when you saw Lori Lightfoot's name, and somebody said it earlier, Kenya said it earlier, like all they had to have done was selected somebody different. They didn't have to select Lori. They could have just selected somebody different to do this, because the person, it doesn't even have to have, they're not going to have like the ability to put somebody in jail. So they could have just been an attorney or even a prosecutor, sure. But they didn't have to be Lori Lightfoot, because there is an optic there that people probably are not able to get over and such like that. But man, I don't know, man. I feel sorry for the people of Dolton, the citizens. I feel sorry for the trustees, because they're in a catch-22, because they're trying to. I do think that those men and women on the board, the trustees, are trying to do the right thing. I don't think they're just out there just trying to freewheeling it. I do think they want to do the right thing, and it is difficult for them to find the right balance between doing the right thing and getting some stuff, fixing a whole lot of problems, which, oh my gosh, I can only imagine. But somebody said right here, look at Tiffany, look at Henyard smirk when he called her out about the woman that was SA'd. Yeah, like one thing I know for a fact, Lori Lightfoot is not going to become the mayor of Dolton, Illinois. That's not going to happen. However, like they're going to need a lot of work. I don't know though, man, this is wild. And I agree with all of that. We should definitely be praying for them. We should be praying for them. Absolutely. I no argument for me at all. I'm thinking about how the situation plays out. And is it possible? Well, first of all, is it possible that Lori Lightfoot could do a good job investigating? It is possible. I think that's fair, that she could do a good job investigating and pulling out the corruption, chronicling it so that, some charges could be dropped. Because somebody asked during the Lori Lightfoot, it wasn't supposed to be an open mic, but people got up and started asking Lori Lightfoot questions. And somebody asked, like, are you going to be able to put people in jail? That's what she said. I need people to go to jail. And she said she wouldn't be able to do that. But at least the people want that, which I think is kind of interesting. It's just wild. I like to believe, retired says, I like to believe that Lori can get the information needed as a former prosecutor to get the charges to the right people. I agree. Why is there always money missing? Because people be stealing it. Well, sadly, I think the money missing in this case is really, really poor management across the board. But it sounds like they don't have systems in place, or there's systems that need to be restored and utilized properly. But Mayor Henyard has been blocking the trustees from being able to utilize those systems properly. I hope that made sense. So, but at the end of the day, it's money that's missing. Let's just say it like it is. Is money missing? And I have no idea why it's always that, but you're right. It does tend to lean on that a lot more than normal. So you are correct for sure. No, I think it's interesting though. But what else? Anybody else got any other thoughts on that? What do y'all think? I like the way you said that. Too much trust and too little honesty. I can't disagree. I cannot find a way to disagree with you on that. Like, you want to trust that Lori is going to do the right thing. And I think, maybe this is her redemption arc. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe this is her chance to really stand up and be a stand-up individual. The problem is Lori Lightfoot. Like, I got you. Like, yeah, it's Lori. If this was anybody else, we would, would we give them any grace if it was somebody else? I don't know. I think it's a great point. Money should be hard to get access to for sure. Well, you're right. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot. If you do any research into this whole Dolton story, I mean, there's a lot of chicanery that happened. Lots of chicanery. So it's not just that money was difficult or too easy to access. There was there was fraud, there's corruption. I mean, Tiffany took the clerk's rubber stamp. It was rubber stamping checks. Like, how are you not in jail for that? Why is that not embezzlement? I don't get it. There's a lot of that going on around the government, city, state, and nation. Yeah, you're right. I'm very concerned about the town is going to go bankrupt. Oh, I think they're already technically bankrupt. I mean, they got 22,000 residents. I don't know how many people, I don't know what property tax needs to look like in order to get 22,000 residents. Let's just say there's 20. Okay, let me do the math real quick. They're easily $7 million in debt. So let me just real quick, just to get out of debt. Is that right? Okay. Divided by 20K. Is that right? $350. So each resident needs to pay an extra, let's just say $400 for easy math. So each resident needs to pay an extra $400 in property tax or some kind of tax this month, this year, in order to fix a $7 million deficit. Okay. That doesn't sound terrible, but it does sound terrible at the same time. Yeah, I know that's not, I know that was not, that was just residents. So I don't know, like, again, that could be men, women, kids, how many people in the household. I mean, there's a lot of problems with that little quick math I just did there, right there. They're too busy tracking Bible purchases. Oh my gosh, who's doing that? Oh my goodness. We're in a weird world, man. We are in a weird upside down world. But yeah, I just wanted, so it wasn't a super long live stream. I just really wanted to hear what y'all thought about it. Had y'all heard about this? And I'll be doing more about Dolton when we come back for sure, because it's such an interesting story to me. And I think there's enough people talking about it that I think I could add my voice to it and make a beautiful chorus. Just like there's a lot of people talking about Fonny. And I think I found a good niche in there as well. I do want to say to every one of y'all, thank you very much. This is my stats from the month of March. If you saw my community post earlier today, you guys absolutely just crushed all my expectations. There's no way in the world I can say thank you enough. This channel, just in the month of March, last month, had almost 3,700 new subscribers, 500,000 views, and near 3.6 million minutes watched. That is bananas. That is insane. And I want to say thank you all. I say it a lot, not because I'm some sappy guy or whatever like that, but I realize that, look, there is no dearth of content creators and good content creators here on YouTube. There's no dearth of it. And the fact that you took the time to check out what I'm doing, not only check out what I'm doing, but actually subscribe to the channel and all that kind of stuff like that, it means a lot. Oh my gosh, what did you say? Don't do this to me, retired. Don't do it. I'm supposed to be packing my stuff. I'm supposed to be oh no, don't do that to me. Can you send me the link? Send me the link real quick. Send me the link. I could get up in the morning and take Chief Executive Second Born to school early because she has a student council meeting, and then take President Firstborn to school. I got to come home and pack because then I got to pick my wife up from the airport, and then we got to get up on. She needs a pack, and then my sister-in-law's coming in town on Friday. I'm telling you, we got a lot going on. But back to this point here. Don't get me off task. Let me off task here. I want to say thank you again. Every last one of you. You all have made this such an enjoyable experience. And I just want to say thank you, because this is like, there's no way I would have ever imagined that many people found value in what I was talking about, that they would want to watch 501,000 views of anything that I was doing. But look, here we are. So I just want to say thanks again. I really do appreciate it. No, not competing with April. I just wanted to get over and do something real quick. I'm sorry. I didn't know that April was going to still be on. So when I scheduled it, sorry about that. But nonetheless, I just want to say thank you again, every last one of you. And I will, as I said before, we're going to be playing, we're going to either play Critical Race Theory Bingo, or we're going to play Fonnie Willis bingo, one or the other. It's going to probably be critical race theory bingo with a splash or sprinkle of Fonnie Willis. We're going to be doing that on the 25th. I also have scheduled a live Christian content creator panel discussion at my studio on the 27th. I'm going to make sure all those links go up on the community post. So please check those out as well. If you could, do me one little favor. Please make sure you hit notifications on this. If you are subscribed to the channel or you are a member to the channel, just make sure you have notifications turned on. That way, if I do something special, if I do something members only live stream or whatever, you'll get notification. Because if you don't actually get notified. That's kind of crazy. So I just want to make sure that, in fact, you are able to get it. And that is it. What'd you say, retired? This group just feels so relaxed and easy to share thoughts with. Hey, that's what I'm telling you, man. You know what? I think I probably should. I think I should. I think we should end on a solid note again. I got it right here. Do I have it right here? Got it right here. I think it only makes sense. Can we do it one more time? Can we can we do the video one more again? I think we can. So this is the best live chat in the world, brought to you in part by We Watch YouTube. Let's check it out together. Let's go.
I wanna hold where my screaming is in highlights and people say hi when I come into the room. I wanna be where the conversation is interesting, and I wanna have family there, like president, firstborn, and chief executive, second born, and a Grammy. She's cool. Yeah, I want a Grammy part for sure. I want to feel some kind of way, like where everybody knows my street name. And if I could ever find something like that, it would be the best. Chat room on the internet, a chat room that you know has stuff to talk about, stuff I know how to talk about, where people get me and I can celebrate. You know where you celebrate. I like it when the moms are on their job and put those links in the chat. Yeah, that's nice. You think this place exists, man? I know a guy. You think this place exists, man? I know a dear old Christian. Look at my man, he'll hook you up. Man, if I could ever find something like that, it would be the best chat room on the internet. A chat room that you know has stuff to talk about, stuff I know how to talk about, where people get me and I can celebrate. You know where you celebrate. Thank you, oh thank you, dear old Christian, for giving me a place at the best chat on the internet. I just want to say thank you, man. Thank you, man.
I don't get enough of it. I cannot get enough of that video. I cannot get enough of that video. Thank you. This is from We Watch YouTube, did this video, by the way. If y'all could, just go ahead and drop a WWY in the chat. Let's let them know we appreciate them. Thank you so very much, We Watch YouTube. That definitely, that made my entire morning. I'm so glad I watched that early this morning because that set my entire day ablaze because I've been showing it to everybody because it's so good. Thank you again. And that's why I say this is the best chat, live chat on the planet. I don't care where else you go. This is the best live chat. I'll meet you outside if you want to fight about it, but it'll still be the best live chat on the planet. Thank y'all so much. That was a great video. Okay, I think we're done for the week. There's a couple videos dropping on Friday, as well as one on Saturday and Sunday. But I'm going to try to jump into the live chat because they're all going to be premiered, so I'll try to be in there. But I won't be at home for the week. But I do appreciate you all so much. And again, thank you so much to every last one of you that has liked, shared, and subscribed, that's hit the bell notification, all that kind of stuff, because it means a lot. You don't understand how much it means for somebody to actually find value in what you're doing to the point that they would want to connect. They want to make songs. They want to come to the live chats, all that kind of stuff like that. It means so much. And here's a link to that video. We Watch YouTube dropped it right here. So y'all, please go check it out. Let them know that you appreciate what they're doing over there. Maybe one day we'll have We Watch YouTube come by and turn the camera on. We can have a conversation about it. But thank y'all again. I really do appreciate it. I didn't get the little people ready because I can hear them scurrying around, but they're not getting ready for bed. But let's do this again real soon. Everybody, thank you so much. Until next time, everyone, grace and peace. Take care.